What up, gamers? I'm Jason, and today on Dice and Dragons, we are coming back at you with our regular host and a special guest for a new episode of Kickstarter Excess or Value. Now, just warning, if you saw the last episode, we said we might be fired up. So we are going to be fired up on this one. We're going to try to keep it family friendly for the talk about this, the value. There's some good stuff in there, but it might descend into a little bit of chaos afterwards. And we're Canadians, so I'm sorry about that. And none of that in this episode. The fire's coming. The fire is coming. So I will let our new host, our special guest that has joined us, introduce himself, where he's from, and tell you a little bit about where you can find all the great content he produces every week.
Okay, I'm David from Board on the Air. We're a weekly radio show, but we also post it to all your favorite podcast sites. We have a little bit of a Instagram, Twitter postings, but we don't do a whole lot. It's more our half-hour show that we focus on, and we've done, one unboxing video, I think, on YouTube, but that's really as far as we've gone. And then the weekly, what have you been playing?
Yeah.
Beauty. Wouldn't expect anything less.
And hey folks, it's Rob and
Anna Marie
from out here in Kelowna, BC, Meeple Dungeon. You can find us on Twitter, Meeple Dungeon, YouTube, Meeple Dungeon, and our brand new podcast, the Meeple Dungeon Podcast, which will have 7 or 8 episodes out by the time this airs. So catch us on all those podcasting sites.
And hey, folks, Ryan here from the Card Board Conjecture Podcast and Bridge the Board Gamers here in Saskatoon. Check our 2 podcasts that come out every week. We got What Ya Been Playing Wednesdays, come out every Wednesday. Dice and Dragons, Meeple Dungeon, Board on the Air. They're all part of that fantastic cast of Canadian content creators. And then, of course, Card Board Conjecture comes out every Saturday. And by the time this episode is out, 100 episodes of random discussion topics and not being recorded in the back of a classroom anymore.
Nice.
And then we're also on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. Just search up Bridge the Board Gamers. You'll find stuff and things. Lots of stuff and things.
Yep. Lots.
All right. So we are going to get set up. Ryan is going to share his screen, and make sure to take a look down below in the video description so that you can find all of the great content from these creators. We are talking about the Stefan Feld City Collection. This is New York City and Marrakesh. It also includes the original 2 games from the City Collection that are going to be that are added as I won't say a reprint. I'm going to let Ryan talk to you a little bit more about that because we had some discussions about it off screen.
Perfect.
But I'm not going to be explaining this. For those that follow Dice and Dragons, I'm not the biggest Euro gamer. We do like our Euro games, but as Julie and I typically play together, it's a lot of co-ops because happy wife, happy life. Looking forward to getting back to some game nights and playing some more Euros, but we got CO2 over there. So we know our Euros, we like them, but the competitive ones, especially these ones are a little too rich for our blood. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to spoil anything else. Take it away, Ryan. Tell them about it.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm an omni gamer. So I play dungeon crawlers, I play Euros, I play party games, I play social. I play a little bit of everything. But this one, Stefan Feld is probably one of my favorite designers. I own a ton of Stefan Feld games in my collection. I think I have, the quick math says 13 Stefan Feld games. That's the quick math. My plus or minus. So I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, David, it was probably early last year when they originally came out with the Stefan Feld City Collection games 1 and 2.
Yeah, it was about 8 months ago, I would say.
Yeah.
Is when they came out in lots of excitement.
Yeah, they launched it. There was Hamburg and Amsterdam, which were going to be remade versions of earlier Stefan Feld games. Hamburg is redoing his classic game called Bruges, where Amsterdam is redoing his classic version of Macau. with some improvements into some of the gameplay and the mechanisms and the art and stuff like that. And plus, the big thing that they were touting was that they were going to be these deluxeified editions with upgraded components and game tray organizations and these fancy box arts that are kind of like metallic shine on them and everything like that. And that when you line them up, they make if I can see it here, they make like a city sky, or they make the skyline as you line them up on this thing.
That looks pretty
big thing there. Yeah, they were really touting this. And yeah, and people were excited because Bruges and Macau were very out of print. And board game black market prices were pretty big for at the time for those games. And so then, hey, I can get a new version of that. Oh, and I can upgrade it. Awesome. And then part of that campaign is that they also teased that there was going to be more games in the city collection, New York and Marrakesh, that would be announced at a later time. Flash forward, we are now at that later time where they've announced New York and Marrakesh, except for a whole bunch of stuff has happened since then.
So let's talk about New York and Marrakesh before we break it down. Like, these are re-implementations of other games. I think New York is, is Marrakesh the new one, like a whole new system?
So Marrakesh is a brand new Stefan Feld design. It's not based on any of his other previous works, whereas New York is based off of his earlier design called Strasbourg. Was the one that it's based off of, and Strasbourg has been very out of print, can't find it for anything like that. But yes, Marrakesh is a brand new, how do you describe a Stefan Feld game there, Dave? It's lots of
points, lots of bits, lots of, it's Euro goodness.
It's funny that you wanted to talk about this because the Blue Peg Pink Peg released their podcast and they were talking about this, and they said that Marrakesh is really very much like a point salad. Like, everything you do gets you points. You just got to figure out which way is going to get you the most points. And I can't really explain it. Like, I listened to the overview videos. They got some nice 5-minute overview videos, but they cover a lot of ground and there's a lot of bits and pieces. I really would need to read.
Yeah, you take a look at this picture on the screen right now, and there are tiles everywhere. There is a million and one different little wooden resources over here. We've got your own player boards, which things are going in, and hidden player screens, and there's tracks that you're moving up on and stuff like that. This screams Stefan Feld right now.
It's the return of the cube tower too.
Oh yes, there's a cube tower that you drop cubes and bits into, and when in past designs, like whichever cubes or bits fall out of, that allows you to take certain actions, or people can take certain actions. This one's kind of like you drop your cubes in and people else drop their cubes in, and then you draft what actually comes out of the tower, and that dictates what kind of actions you can take, type thing. So other than that, I don't know a heck of a lot more about the actual gameplay of Marrakesh. And there you go. There's all the little fancy bits and boobs and like dual layer player boards, game trays, inserts. If you're getting the deluxe versions, a challenge coin for some odd reason, box cover, box sleeve. Yeah, lots of stuff. You're getting lots of stuff in here, and that's what they're touting, these deluxe versions of these types of games.
And you can buy the coin upgrade, and then there's also the classic edition as well.
Yeah, and the classic edition is touting that it doesn't have the game trays. It doesn't have like the fancy bits. It's not going to have the metal coins. I don't think it has the dual layer player boards on it. Oh, here.
So there's a classic version.
Here's the classic version. Yeah. Cardboard shits for all the things, just generic sized.
Yeah, it's a classic Feld. The classic version is a classic Feld. Like, none of his games are pretty.
Yeah. Yeah. These things, you notice that they don't have like the stickers or the screen printing on them, just your basic. And then Yep. Nothing's fancy.
So let's talk about New York, since that's the other new one for this Kickstarter. We're not going to go talk about the other two games that are included because they're an older Kickstarter, but I'm sure we'll talk about their pledge levels and what you're getting in terms of value. First and foremost, the one thing I'll say, I love game trays inserts in a lot of cases, but I don't know, man. These seem to be some expensive game tray inserts.
Yeah,
I mean,
but they are toting a lot of bits. And well, I guess if you take a look at any one of my Stefan Feld games, there's baggies upon baggies upon baggies of bits.
Yeah.
Inside all of them.
And so I don't think you need anything other than that, man. It just baggies are great.
Oh yeah. So yeah, New York is based off of Strasbourg, which is kind of like a little bit of like a area majority type of game where you're trying to place down your, in this case, looks like skyscrapers into certain parts of Manhattan and New York here. And yeah, the more where you're going to get is points, but the way you'd actually take those actions and the way that you actually do this is kind of like an action programming type of thing where you kind of resolve certain steps and you've got to actually bid which section you're going to want to, or which action you're going to want to take. And so it's very much area majority and action programming along with an auction type of mechanic that goes along with it. So it's like, hey, I'm going to bid to take this gray action. I can't see right now what that gray action is, but then Dave might come along. He might outbid me for that action. Now I can't take that action later on. I'm going to have to use my money to bid on a different action type of thing. That's kind of like how Strasbourg works. And I'm assuming that lots of that core gameplay is going to stay with this version.
That one looks more interesting to me than the first one. The first one just looks like too much.
Table presence wise, so far, this is definitely one that grabs my eye.
Yeah.
So let's go to the end of
the printed. Yeah.
Printed to the end of the
tokens.
pledge, so we can just see everything. Like
add on, you can get some custom metal coins. Which, if you take a look at these custom metal coins, and you take a look at the Marrakesh custom metal coins, they almost look very similar, except for this one says New York on it and Stefan Feld City Collection 3 on them. And here, I'll scroll up here to where Marrakesh was. And Marrakesh, where are you? Metal coins. Oh, see, very similar.
Oh, no, they're rounded. Totally different.
All right.
Yes. So
let's go to the end there. We'll take a look quickly at the classic version of New York, and then let's just talk about what we like, from these deluxe games, like what they're bringing in.
Here we go. See?
Value.
So not screen printed, standees instead of wooden ships and buses and taxis, cardboard shits, cardboard tiles, cards. And then they get into like their Amsterdam and Hamburg and stuff like that. So
we won't talk too much about Amsterdam and Amsterdam and Hamburg. I've taken a look at those. Like, we can just scroll through it quickly. As you can see, like, similar content with deluxe version, standard version, nice upgraded coins, better looking everything. And let's talk about the value. What do we like about these deluxeified versions? I mean, we are the Kickstarter junkies trying to reform ourselves here, but getting a little bit better every day. Every day
is better, a little bit better. Yes.
However, if I have to go a month without pledging a Kickstarter, I don't think I'd be off that wagon way too quickly.
So way back when, I think we introduced ourselves into this show, we talked about things that we like in Kickstarters and Kickstarter exclusives and deluxe editions, and everything that these games offer in a deluxe edition are things that I really enjoy. I love screen printed wooden bits.
And I
like acrylic standees, which one of the games actually has. That I think it was Amsterdam. I like dual player boards.
Yep.
I like all of those things. I do like game trays inserts. I like things that could, and if this is the only way that I can get that, I like that. Like that, those are things that I really enjoy. How about you, Dave?
Well, I'm a big fan of metal coins, and I like upgrading my games. So anything that is a little bit better, I like that. Like as you said, like I like the screen printed. I like the nice chunky bits that have some flavor to them. I love the dual layer boards as well. All of this, and when I pledge a Kickstarter, I'm very much, I go for known quantities. So if I know the designer, that's something I like. Stefan Feld is one of my top 2 designers of all time. So there's a lot of this that sings to me that I was super excited when it was coming. But
and normally we've gone through the pledge levels. We kind of skipped over that one. Don't worry, it's coming for fans of the show because
it'll be.
Well, once we get into those pledge levels, I don't know how much longer I can keep the reins on everyone here.
Yeah. So everything that they're doing that they want to do with these deluxes, so it kind of reminds me of the old Tasty Minstrel games. May them rest in peace for who they are. Yeah. Really reminded me of that. You can get that deluxeified edition. This is the only time that you're going to be able to get those. They might have limited quantities of them later on, maybe at conventions, maybe on their web stores type of thing. This really reminds me that they have the deluxeified edition, and then they have the not so nice deluxeified edition to the games. And I don't know, how did that pan out for Tasty Minstrel Games way back when?
Yeah.
Speculation and conjecture is all I have.
Sorry, I'm just looking over at my shelf there. I've got a review copy that we still haven't reviewed because the game actually went out of print almost 2 weeks after we got the review copy because the company full, which was Story Machine Games. We have Danger Park, and everything is beautiful, high quality components like dual layer player boards, game tray inserts, it's so much nice stuff. One thing I brought that up because it also feels a little bit like a Euro game. It's a lot cheaper than these, a lot cheaper than these.
Okay.
And they went out of business.
So can we pull the reins back?
Do you want to give the background as to where the fire comes from, with what happened between the planes? Or do you want to do the pledge levels first? I let you, you're running the ship.
Okay.
The reins are off. The reins are off.
Reins are off. Okay. So
it might be done. I don't know. When I'm waving my hands, the reins are off.
Okay. So the reason why I brought up this, because and I knew that Rob, Anna Marie, and Jason they're not the biggest Euro gamers. They may have. The one that got me really fired up about this, because I backed the original City Collection. I backed Hamburg and Amsterdam. I even went as far as that I backed the deluxe editions, and it cost a pretty penny. And I was like, you know what? I really enjoy them. I think I can go with this. I will reluctantly, when these ones come, I will get rid of my old versions and I will keep these new versions. Type like that. Cost a pretty penny. Not too long ago, Queen Games sends this update saying that, hey, the new City Collection games are coming to Kickstarter. We haven't fulfilled that other one yet because we're going to wait for this one to fulfill so that we can ship all of the games all out at once, type of thing. And yeah, Rob, I was just like, what did you just say? How is that thing?
How is that Ryan's problem?
Yeah. And Dave, I don't think you went in on the deluxes. I think you just you went the classics.
I went classic on the first edition, and I actually went late pledge on the first edition because when I first looked at it, I thought, $65 for a Euro plus shipping of a basic edition is a little high. But then they started a rumor basically saying these may not come to retail, these new editions, and you can find it on the first Kickstarter. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe I do want them because I don't have Bruges, I don't have Macau. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go in on these. And then everything started changing.
And then you got an email.
Yeah. Well, I was under that impression too, Dave, that they did say these are not coming to retail. You will only be able to get these through this Kickstarter campaign.
Yeah. And then like halfway through the campaign, they're like, oh, we've changed the art a bit. And it was completely different than what the original Kickstarter showed. And not in a good way.
Oh no.
Yeah. I still have my pledge in because I want those two games because they're great.
And I understand why they're trying to do something with regards to shipping. I mean, there's a shipping disaster going on right now. It's bad. I know companies that have paid like $80,000 more than they've quoted for shipping. Trade Noir with Assassin's Creed is a great example. But there are creative ways to find get funds to ship games. I've got Nemesis Uprising coming, and they actually figured out like, hey, you know what? We're going to raise $25,000. So they're doing a special card pack for $25. Probably not costing them $20. Maybe it's costing them like, $5 to make, and we're giving $20 to shipping. But they're like, hey, get this new exclusive item only for people that help us get this thing shipped. Yeah. And that's cool. Like
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Go back to Rob's point. Like, why is it Ryan's problem that you want to ship it all together to save money? Like, be creative.
And it was a successful Kickstarter. There were lots of backers. There were a lot of junkies like me and Dave that went in on it because it looked great. It was awesome. Yeah. And then they were really touting this thing, the collectability. They were going for a completely different audience here with the collectability. And you get these autographed cards of Stefan Feld in awkward poses. Like, these are just horrible. I don't want these.
No. Oh, those are
You can get a sticker to put on your box that is autographed Stefan Feld numbered. And if you backed at a certain level, you guaranteed yourself that you got the same number on all your boxes, or otherwise it could just be a random number on all 4 boxes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So right now, all early bird 4-game bundles, you'll be assigned a random number between $12.50 and $2,000 for some reason.
Point of
you
that.
get like $12.50, $12.50, $12.50, and like 1972.
No. Yeah. And in future campaigns, you will have the option to pledge and so they're going to do this again.
And then you're going to have different numbers.
Receive the same number for every game in the collection. I don't know how you logistically are going to do this.
I'd like to see that happen. Yeah. See every number match up. Good luck with that.
Yeah. So anyways,
interesting enough, I looked up the other Kickstarter, the one for Hamburg and Amsterdam. There was about 3,400 backers. And I believe they was probably running around the same time period. This one has 700 right now with 16 days to go. Like, there is no chance that they get the same amount of people in that first campaign. So right now, they're kind of got egg on their face that the whole idea is, well, we're going to ship them together. Getting the like, we're going to have 2 massive print runs. Your core fan base just kind of just looked at you and said, like, what the are you thinking?
Okay. And here's the big thing.
My money back in my pocket.
Yeah. So here's the big thing too. If you are a backer of Hamburg and Amsterdam deluxe editions, which I was, then this campaign comes out and they say, oh, but you can have an Amsterdam custom coins. Hamburg custom coins. Those are going to cost you $40 each. Oh, Amsterdam has also got acrylic rondelles that weren't part of that. That's going to cost you another $50.
This is my favorite part.
What?
What?
I already paid $200+ for those other deluxe editions, and you're saying I'm going to have to cough up another 40, 80, and another 50, another $130 for more more stuff for those games that were already supposed to be deluxeified. No, I asked for my money back and I got it.
Good.
Yeah. Don't forget about the $12 for cards with actual language on them.
Oh, right. The language cards, because they were going for language independence, which I get. Lots of icons, Stefan Feld games.
Yeah.
But if you want cards that actually have the text that explains what the card does right on the card, you can pay $12.
Okay. I get why they try to do language independence. And there's one thing that I hope that every single designer that ever watches the show, if you watch this segment, please understand one thing. All of us that back your games on Kickstarter don't play the games enough for language independent cards. I'm sorry. I don't remember the iconography. If I don't have language on them, I'm going to have a freaking reference sheet. So just put language on the damn cards and forget trying to do this language independence thing. If you want to do it in a retail environment, I get it. It's fine. You're selling the same thing everywhere. Great. Good on you. Like Kickstarter. No. Just hate it.
Yeah. So you can add those on this time around, not last time. You can add those ones on. It's going to cost you $12 for the Amsterdam game, $14 for the Hamburg game. And then all of a sudden, we have our other products that you can also add on.
Before we get to the grand reveal here of the.
So there we go. We just screwed through the deluxe edition of the games. Let's take a look at the pledge levels. Like this is probably the latest we've ever done pledge levels on Kickstarter Excess or Value. So let's take a look. I mean, $2.
So if you were a backer of the first campaign only, you can select this level. Only 139 people are doing that out of those 3,000.
So Ryan, why don't you scroll up to see the boxes?
Sorry.
So we just have those.
These ones?
Yeah, it's just prettier than next.
There we go. Marrakesh, New York. So if you want to just get on just to the add-ons, pay more for those games that were already deluxeified and pay more money to deluxeify them more.
Or make them readable.
Making them readable. I'm at a loss for words. I'm trying to hold back. I don't want Jason to have a lot of editing to do during this segment.
I got to say one thing. Our collection here, we're encroaching on 400 games in our collection. We have currently one Feld game, which was Bonfire, I believe. I heard that this campaign was coming, and I was like, "Oh, okay, this might be my in on getting a bunch of Feld games that we've been missing out on, right?" And it's funny because in the little group text that you two and I have one day, because I'd been thinking about this campaign before you guys mentioned it, and I saw you pop up on the text saying, "Hey, did you see that Feld Kickstarter?" And I was like, "Oh wow, they're cool. I got to check this out." And then from that point on, everything went sideways, and we're gonna find out here what I think of that.
And so. Part of the mess of this Kickstarter too, and I think Dave might be on this. Originally, Dave was able to get those classic versions of Hamburg and Amsterdam, but the classic versions weren't part of this campaign.
They didn't show up on day one. Day one, they were
not there day one, and people were mad.
Yeah.
Only just recently, you can see now here on the pledge levels, not on the main page, but just in the pledge levels, you can get a New York classic for $74 US, 95 Canadian, the classic version, the non-upgraded, paying $100 for a non-upgraded Euro game.
And let's put it, there's one thing I want to say. Queen Games is not new to Kickstarter. This page itself is a freaking disaster. I have never seen more how much
scrolling did I have to do there?
Everything is assaults my eyes. I showed this to someone in the industry, and they said that they scrolled too fast and they got motion sickness. Like, what are you doing? I don't understand it. I guess because of the classics weren't there. But this campaign is. Not a critique of the game. Not a critique of the games. I don't actually have any Felds in this collection, and it's something that I wanted to rectify. And looking at the deluxe version of New York, I think it would look really nice. I'm not going to get it for $125 because I just won't play it enough. But yeah, it's this whole campaign.
I'm going out on a limb. These games are great. So Hamburg, Amsterdam, and New York are based off of great classic Stefan Feld designs. The games are great. They are fun to play. I am very disappointed that there's going to be a lot of people that are not going to be able to play these games because of the price points that they have set. New York Classic, 74 American, 95 Canadian. Marrakesh Classic, 90 US, 115 Canadian. That's for a Euro game is outrageous.
Yes.
Yes, there's lots of bits and bobs. Yes, there are wooden components up the wazoo. Yes, there are cards. Yes, there's a cube tower.
I got CO2 and it cost me like all in with that deluxe thing cost me less than that, I think. Or it might have been more, but it was with another expansion. But I got CO2 and it wasn't like 115 Canadian. It was not up there.
Yeah.
I got very confused.
Maybe it's like deluxe with like no details. It's just like 125 deluxe.
Yeah. 125 deluxe. Wait. Now they got Hamburg deluxe in here and Amsterdam deluxe. Oh, there's Marrakesh deluxe.
I just wanted to touch on
149
and the deluxe because I got very confused.
I'm still confused.
Yeah. So I was looking through this and I watched the video with Stefan Feld on the video at the top, and there was a little interview that they were going on. And from what it sounded like to me is that he said he was very excited to put out these new editions, because he was taking things he had heard about the originals, maybe criticisms or just like things he'd heard that maybe could be better. And he was able to incorporate them into these new editions. And he said, unless I misheard him, but I thought he said that it will allow people to have like two very different games. So you have like the original, and then you have like a new game, which is why I thought, okay, so they have. I didn't realize, Ryan, that they were different names for them. So
that's where I was lost too. Is I'd never heard of any of these, and I'm like, classic? What? Like, how is this a classic? I've never even heard of this game.
I think the classic is just a misnomer completely.
Yeah, no, because I was like, okay, so I was thinking the way I was looking at this, thinking, okay, there's the classic version, which is the original game, and then the deluxe, which is the new game, because he said they were basically, you would be playing two new games. But then when we were looking, I'm like, but Marrakesh, like that doesn't have an old game. So how can you have a classic? And then I was looking for, okay, well, where can you get them together? Because I was thinking there would be a version where it's like, okay, here's the core or whatever, with then like an add-on pack for the differences that he made in the game or
kind
whatever.
Like viticulture versus the Tuscany. That's the way it's kind of portrayed, but that's not at all what's happening here.
And I was so confused. So then like, you can't even get the original games. Like, this is just, the classic is the same game, just without the upgraded bits.
The classic is the dumbest name it's ever seen in a Kickstarter. It is not a classic version. Just do it. New York standard. Boom. Done. No confusion. Like,
and then New York deluxe.
How could you possibly label a game that's brand new and never seen the light of day a classic?
Yeah, it's a bold move.
I'm tempted to have you, Ryan, like, if you want to, like, you should pull up the definition of the word classic, because clearly the marketing department did not go and look online or pull a freaking dictionary out.
So, yes, that has been 100% the thing with naming them the classics. Yeah, essentially this campaign, the classics are the non-upgraded. Yeah. It's just the game. Amsterdam, Marrakesh, New York.
Like, and all in, you'd be getting like 8 games, because you'd be getting the original, and then the new one.
No.
And so it's like,
no. That would be too good of a deal.
Yeah.
I was
Are you kidding me?
price point that would make sense. Or like
The price.
No, it still wouldn't make sense.
Yeah. You're paying for 8 games. You're only getting 4.
So what we got here? New York and Marrakesh Classic at 160.
You get the non-upgraded bundle for 160. Is that even a deal?
I don't think.
Was it again?
I was just asking myself.
Is a deal.
90 and 90 and 74. So
You save what, $5?
$5.
$5? Are you kidding me?
You get $5. Yeah, you get a $5 discount for bundling them together.
It's insulting.
What?
Solid move there. Clean games.
I'm keeping it clean myself.
Hey! At least we saved something.
Yeah.
I'd rather not. Rather than them insult my intelligence, telling me I'm getting a deal, I'd rather pay the $5 than try to pull the wool over on me. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And then they got a pledge level here. They got a pledge level here for just all the new add-ons. So if you just so you don't even get the game, but you just get the coin sets that say New York, Marrakesh, Hamburg, Amsterdam.
Unless you have the new games.
That's $240.
Yeah.
Why would you get those if you weren't?
There's okay. I'm calling them out right now. There's 107 backers here that are idiots.
Yeah.
Like, why would you back this level? You're not even getting the games.
The only reason why I could see backing this level is you are running some type of RPG. Could be a modern RPG, like it could be like Dark World, or like there's whole different systems, and you want metal coins for your money. So they say Hamburg on them, and they say Amsterdam on them. Maybe it's set in Hamburg and Amsterdam. I don't know. Like maybe,
all those together.
You probably saved $4 or something, right? Yeah.
Eldritch Horror, you're all over the world hopping like 1920 Arkham horror stuff. I don't know, but I'm just explaining how. I'm not saying I agree. I definitely think that's money that's like
this is just a first. Yeah. This is just a level that didn't need. They already had the add-ons. Get in on the pledge manager, level up at the top. They didn't need this.
The only thing I can think is that they got the classic versions and they wanted the coins. That's the only reason that makes sense.
Yeah, right? but they're offering the New York and if you do all 4 classics, then you can have your metal coins. Yeah.
But why would you? But you can't do it though because you have to pledge twice.
This is weird. This is a weird level. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Okay.
New York.
We can all say that level is dead. It's excess and it abuses your customer. And shame on Queen Games for putting it in there because it's not. It should be add-ons and classic editions, and then should be all add-ons for the previous campaign. That should be. This is
107 people here that are speculating that they're going to be able to resell these things for a profit, which they are not going to be able to do.
Yeah.
If all I have to see is at the end of the camp, any bets that goes down to like 50 backers by the end of the campaign when people realize how many people are not buying New York and Marrakesh?
Not taking that bet.
Nope. I'm going because this has been famous in the past that Queen Games going on like eBay and Amazon for like dirt cheap because people got too many of them.
Yep.
Just saying that might happen too. Okay, New York City Marrakesh Deluxe Bundle, $265 for that's way more. That is way more than what I had paid for a Hamburg Amsterdam Deluxe Bundle.
So that's $15 off the 2 deluxe versions. So hey.
Oh, it's 9.
It's a McDonald's trio. If you get yourself like a dessert.
They got 218 people at this, and they've limited it. Oh, we're limiting it to 800.
I love the limited.
So like seriously though, when I'm looking at that, right? So there's Marrakesh, this new game, New York. So the 2 deluxe versions of these games. And so Canadian backers are willing to pay $340 for these 2 Feld games before shipping. Like that's a thing.
Not this guy. Not this guy.
Even remotely close.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even. That's more expensive than my copy of Kingdom Death Monster.
I was going to say, I think that price is what I paid for the all-in of Tainted Grail.
That's right, Jason. 265. It was around that 260 mark.
Before they added in some extra stuff that I added that was like blew that out of the water.
And we both got refrigerator boxes delivered to our.
But this is going to be no refrigerator box. No. This is going to be like a microwave box.
They have Game Crazy Multi Edition.
Like, are you kidding? 300 and what? $340 $40 before shipping for 2 Feld games.
Yeah.
But really? Rob.
And hey, wait a second.
I'll
let you go, but I want to point this out. We just talked about Artisans of the Splendid Veil at $99 with screen printed meeples, a whole ton of writing, and even like plushies and other stuff. And it's cheaper than those two. And one box is cheaper than freaking New York Classic. It's $99. And there's more content in there. There's 60 hours of a campaign and it's cheaper than a Feld game. What the? Never mind.
Nope. Keep going. But I was going to say, but Rob, you can get the 4 classic games for only $295 US.
Oh, good. Ay.
We're paying almost $100 a game for €4 plus shipping. Plus we have to do shipping after this.
Yes.
But
yep.
Oh man.
Oh my good gracious.
Now here we go. Early bird.
This is embarrassing. Like the most embarrassing thing I have ever seen. You have an early bird pledge that has 452 left, and this has been out for a couple of days. Like, are you kidding me? Your early bird isn't gone. Talk about
47 backers.
Well, what's the other? Is that the one below it, the 6.9?
Okay, so here we go. So we got early bird, all 4 deluxe games. All 4 deluxe games for $495, $630 Canadian.
So
insane.
Scroll down on the left a little, Ryan. Sorry to jump in there. Scroll down on the left.
Oh, it's left. Yeah, sorry.
So $375 plus $150.
$100 for.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I'm.
So that is actually for what they're charging. That is so far the best of value bundle that I've seen in terms of what you're getting as a discount. I hesitate to add the word value to that at all. I would say that this is, the cheapest route. Yes. And I would say, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that better. There's no value here. Like these are super overpriced games, but it is the only pledge level that has a discount that makes any type of sense that I've seen.
Yeah. In theory, you're buying 4 games and you're buying 3 games and getting the 4th for free because you save $125 at that level.
There you go.
That's crazy. And then, but you could also have the early bird all in 4-game deluxe bundle, which gives you but then it also gets you all of the coin sets. But that's $690 US.
880 Canadian without shipping.
For 4 games.
That early bird popped in after the fact too, didn't it? Because I don't remember seeing that the first day.
This first one was. This one.
The first one, but not the all-in deluxe
Not the all-in one.
How embarrassing is it to have an early bird that you thought was like going to fly off the shelf and only 25 people said, yeah, it's worth my money. I think those are 25 like lawyers out there that have money. Probably.
These are 25 people that hit the lottery.
Yeah.
It's a lawyer because Feld games take forever. So they're going to play a Feld game and then charge like their customers billable hours. Like that's what they do. They sit down and they play Felds and like talk business. That's how it works.
Question on this one. It says savings of 49. Does it have that above? Like the savings? I thought you guys.
Oh no, this one didn't say the savings.
No.
Because there is none.
There is somebody, it's him.
If you're saying $49 on the deluxe, I would assume it would be something like 24 or 25.
Only $49 for all that stuff. I should be getting that. Should be $149 if I'm getting all.
I think it is. That doesn't add up, because if you're saving $125, or are you?
Are
No,
you?
you're not.
Are.
Scroll up.
Okay,
it's
sorry.
like 75
on the
you're
right
saving.
side.
So
the other
one.
one.
Oh, you want me to do the pledge level?
This one. So it's 500. I was thinking 400 for some reason. My math is way off. Yeah. So you're saving.
You're saving $25.
$25. $25. So you're
$25.
doubling your savings.
Is it only 25 there? 375 plus 150. So 475. Yeah, you're right. That's I guess I just really want all the money. Like, sorry, Queen Games, my money. I do not do this for your game.
Yeah.
That's not happening for this one.
But don't worry, folks. Don't worry, folks. If you miss out on the early bird, aka you won't. there is the all-in deluxe bundle at the end for $7.15.
Oh, God.
Wait.
One backer.
Who is this guy or gal? Who are they? Because you have an all-in above it that is
before
cheaper.
the early bird came out, though, Ryan.
Yeah, that wasn't there.
The early bird is there yet?
Yeah, this guy needs to listen to our podcast here and see that he is getting screwed on a few dollars here, $25 to be exact.
Yeah.
Who has $1,000 to throw at 4 Feld
games?
Like, are you kidding me right now?
Sorry, no, we're only talking $910. Oh, plus shipping.
Plus shipping. Yeah,
that's gonna be more than $1,000.
It's $1,000 easy.
How much have we all spent on big, giant minis games recently? Not
$1,000.
So let's say we all buy Agamonia, like all in. Like we would be maybe at what, like 3, like 253.
Yeah.
Like a quarter of the price.
Yeah.
In that one, like ISS Vanguard was probably what, like, because if you go all in Sundrop, you're about half of that, but you've got like how much game and how much stuff. Now that's 4 games, but like we're talking about €1, which normally you can go down to your friendly local game store and there might be a ding copy on the shelf that'll sell you for $20, or you'll see they'll be like, this one's dusty. Can I just take it? And they'll be like, maybe. Sorry, I'm not bashing on euros, but they just don't appeal to like.
Oh no!
They don't always appeal to that same broad level of audience, except for certain ones that $1,000 for €1 is just like I can buy them for 20 online. Like, it's just.
And here's a big one because Dave alluded to it. They say there's going to be reasonable changes to product, but we saw in that other one that there was not reasonable.
It was complete
changes. There's complete changes to the product. Oh my goodness gracious!
I'm so angry.
This entire campaign.
Where's the shipping cost?
I was gonna say
it's gone.
It's not on here.
Oh wait, so
surprise.
So it's plus shipping afterwards because they don't want to, because they know that it's terrible right now, and oh my God, they're probably going to pay like $100 shipping at the way they're going.
See, it says production and delivery.
We offer friendly shipping. Yeah, friendly in quotation marks. Friendly means we're going to take even more of your money because you just gave us like half of it already.
What do you mean? Like so many places will put in like, this is an estimate. It can change, but they don't even give an estimate.
That's it. If your country is not listed as quote unquote friendly, Queen Games is not responsible for any local changes.
Charges.
Taxes, customs, fees.
It's a change.
Loss of your package will not reimburse you. So if you're like not in a friendly place and you order $1,000 of games and it gets lost, they're just going to say tough.
Yes.
This infuriates me.
Oh my.
I was looking forward to this. When I first heard that this package thing was coming, I was like, oh, this is our in. Like I haven't been into them.
Well,
I've heard all these good things.
Yeah.
This is a good time to just let's get a whole whack of them all at one time. Sounds cool. But
go buy yourself 6 or 7 copies of Descent
Yeah.
It's actually 5, I think, with the current prices. But
yeah.
So we went through the pledges. We had a little bit of some fiery discussion there. So let's just break it down now. Like, let's talk about the excess and not just the excess that's in the campaign with deluxe editions, the excess of just upcharging the crap out of everything. Like, what is going on? How the heck?
Oh, right. I forgot about this, Jason. Sorry. They had this add-on in the first campaign called the City Collection Coins. So they touted that you would get this box of coins, metal coins that you could have used in all Stefan Feld games.
Okay.
Which I thought was a pretty clever idea. I could have one box. I like that. Yep. One box. But then this campaign, then they have the custom coins for every, like, it was 100% excess. Get this out of my face. Those are stupid.
It's insulting. Nobody.
Like this would be a little bit better. Yeah. I have one box of metal coins that I can use across all of my games.
Yeah.
All the City Collection games now use those coins. You buy it. Maybe they want to have like an extra box later on if some things change, like over the course of like multiple games. Like, let's say this works for the first 4 guaranteed. Maybe you spend an extra 15, in a couple of years to get like some new denominations that you can then put together. Like, that's fine. But like, this is.
Or add $5 and put in just those like couple custom ones in there. Yeah. Have the main box and then just add the little pretty gold ones for each one, and like as a collector coin.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is they have a collector coin too for each game.
Like, they have the challenge. I'm glad you highlighted this, Ryan. Go down again because I really want to.
Sorry.
Because you nailed something here, Anna, that I didn't even notice until you spoke. Like, they got the pretty 3 and the 1s. Like, look at the custom coins. There's 10s and 5s. The City Collection coins. There are no 10s and 5s in these custom coins. You're just getting 3s and 1s.
Yeah.
Like,
there's 10 3s and 31s.
Like, and then you're paying like you can't even use it for all the values of money. So you're gonna have to have those and then the other ones. It's like it's double dipping and abusing your customer in such a negative way. Like, and look, we talked about Earthborn Rangers and being like, more responsible, like with your production. Like, you're producing stuff that's literally going to end up in a landfill. Like, this is junk.
Yeah.
Like, get this out of my face. Like, I hate this. It is such junk garbage. The top one is fine. The other ones are just like, no.
Yeah, I liked in the original. I didn't get it in the original, but I liked this as a concept.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love this as a concept because I have the Roxley poker chips.
Yeah.
And I use those for all of my games, like all of my Euro-based games. And I use those. So I didn't have a reason to get this, but I thought this was good.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is great.
Well, it's reasonable too.
But this does not appear. Oh, sorry. It does appear in this all in. You can get all of the deluxe coin sets and you get the Stefan Feld. They call it the Stefan Feld coin set. I'm assuming that's this City Collection coin set.
But do you need all of them? Like, that's
no.
Not necessary.
Are you kidding? No.
And
what?
No.
What is this?
And then like the rondelles at the very bottom. I think those look nice. Like those acrylic.
But those are only for one game.
That's what I'm saying.
Just
for Amsterdam, and should have been in the original campaign.
Yes.
How many rondelles are there? Like 4 rondelles? You're paying $15 for an acrylic rondelle? Like,
yeah.
Well, less. Yeah, no, $15 is the retail price. Now, I
kind of now.
I don't know if they were.
Here's the thing too. I kind of want those just for my original version of Macau. I kind of do. The rondelle does need an upgrade, but yeah, and I don't know.
Not
for
a
$50.
$50 American upgrade.
No.
And this is talking from people who like to upgrade their bits.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's break down go up to one of the pledges. We'll talk about
just one more thing. Jason, did you notice this? Look at the box sizes.
Oh yeah,
This box is not even the same size.
Nope.
It's like,
It's got the
I'm
same
the new
height.
one. I must be bigger and more
Yes.
stronger.
So they're touting
Fit together.
that you can. Okay, sorry for the vertigo of me going all the way to the
Yes.
top.
Yeah.
Gotta go back all the way to the top here so that I can get the nice side by side.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
how is that going to logistically look on your shelf when the one box here is got a much longer? It's much longer.
You have to put your coin boxes behind it. That's what they expect. It's a designed space to hold your coins on your shelf. You get those 4, and then you put all the coins behind the other boxes. That's what it
Oh my
is.
gosh,
I want
ridiculous.
Yeah, I
do.
want these games, but there's
Yeah.
no chance I go
cannot-
near this.
yeah.
Can't
In
fit.
a couple years, when this finally fulfills, you'll be able to get these for cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to
Well, no, I think New York and Marrakesh might actually like go up in value just because no one is backing them.
Yeah. Nobody's going to own them.
Yeah, no one's going to own them. I think that's about it. But you can probably find Hamburg and Amsterdam. I'm sure that people are expecting to be able to make big money off Hamburg and Amsterdam. Like, this is just, you're sewering your own collection here. Like, you're just pissing people off. And I don't own anything by Queen Games, and I've always heard good things about them, and I've looked at a few of their things. After I see this, I'm just like, if something says Queen,
They were notorious in the past of being like in Kickstarter, but running like logistically running their Kickstarters horribly, like no communication, things going missing, products not being complete, stuff like that. And like going well beyond their expected delivery date with no communication. Like they didn't have a communications person. And now they do have like a communications person. They actually now have like they have like a home base in the US now so that they can do all of that. But they're not new to Kickstarter, and this feels so amateurish. You lost 3,000 backers from the original campaign to this new one.
That's wild. That's wild.
and I wonder how many people like yourself got refunds. We'll never know.
Look at that 728 backers though, and how much money.
They've raised 182,000 American dollars on 700 backers.
Yeah,
That's wow. That's
That number doesn't quite make any sense to me, to be honest. I'd love to. We should probably math it out. Like, I'm just curious to see like how it would actually work.
So when we look at all the levels, we've got 139 people at the $2 add-on only level. We've got nobody just getting New York Classic.
Nobody.
We got 28. We got 28 people getting Marrakesh Classic.
28.
4 people getting New York City Deluxe. 3 getting Hamburg Deluxe. 4 getting Amsterdam Deluxe. 42 people getting Marrakesh. There's people wanting Marrakesh.
Because it's
I
new.
see here.
I guess it's got to be from like that, like, but that's like 4,000. Like, it's like 6,000. Like, I'm rounding them down a little bit, but keep going, right? I'm just
65 at New York and Marrakesh Classic. 107 for the all new add-ons.
20,000. We're like close to 100K.
218.
Yeah, that'll get you a lot.
218 at the New York and Marrakesh Deluxe. 2 at the 4-game Classic Bundle.
60 grand.
47 at the Early Bird 4-game Deluxe.
47 times.
We got 25 at the Early Bird All In. And we've got the one guy at the All In.
That poor person.
I guess they're close. It feels to me though like someone might have pledged a few K in there.
So
Yeah, it seems a little off.
my thoughts that this entire campaign is 100% excess
Let's look at the game because I want to break down just how excessive this is because it pisses me off. So scroll down on the left side. Like I've got stuff like that just blows this out of the water. Like how much are they charging for a game trays insert? Like seriously.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Now you see these classic, what they're calling classic editions. These look like Queen's games.
Yes, they do.
Those covers look like Queen Games covers. That's what I expect. I don't necessarily want this.
I actually like the cleaner covers. I think they look really nice.
But the other ones, like he's saying, do match Queen's art style. Yeah. But
aren't all of them just sleeves too? Or is the deluxe actually have the fancy cover?
No, you're right. No, you're right.
Sleeves.
I think it comes with the new one is a sleeve. I think they put on.
That's not even the box art.
No,
it's
it's
right here.
Yeah.
Box sleeve.
Oh my good gracious!
No. So the way I think about it is it looks like you get like the Marrakesh.
The opposite,
like a day or a night sleeve. It's like an upgraded sleeve. I think so,
right.
but
okay.
It's not clear at all.
How can you tell with this mess of a Kickstarter what you get?
Classic.
I don't know. I have no clue.
Right? Like, so you get the classic and you just get the daytime one, and then you get deluxe and you get like daytime and nighttime. Because the classic, I thought that those were the old games, and I was like, where like these?
So look at it. You're getting the game trays insert, upgraded wooden bits, and for Marrakesh, that's costing you an extra $60, 90 to 149. So okay. Not 60, 59 bucks. Like, what the hell? I know costs have gone up. I know things cost more, but like, I bought the Steel Slayer expansion for the Reckoners, and I went like and upgraded the crap out of that thing. Like, I got everything. I know it's just an expansion. It comes with game trays, inserts, and everything, and it's got minis, and this is the painted minis ones. That's like $100. Like, get the frick out of here with your nonsense. Like, I bought the Reckoners like upgraded with like game trays, pieces like for the.
I don't know where the evaluation. I don't know where the evaluation is. I don't know where the evaluation is of the 74 US, 90 US for these for the classic editions of just cardboard and wooden, non-upgraded wooden components.
$50 US is what I say for New York, and Marrakesh is new, like 60. Like that's where I see these at. I do not see these at any higher price point in these deluxe versions. You should probably like, I'd say 90 to 100 is probably about where they should sit. Even then, I'm not so sure, but I'd say like that's what you're looking at.
I would say 90 to 100 if it included the metal coins.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. You know what? Here's what I would say. Like, forget the custom metal coins. I think they should be like, maybe let's say like cheaper. So let's say like 80 to 90. And then you should have those metal coins, like the ones that cover everything, but it shouldn't be like $50. It should be closer to like 30. And you should have like a nice bundle with all of that together.
Yep.
Like, I don't get this. I do not understand where any of the evaluation is. I don't know how they're spending their money. I honestly, like you said, like you're talking about Tasty Minstrel Games, Ryan. Mm-hmm. This feels to me like a play to stay in business. This feels to me like they are trying to stay in business. If they do not, they are toast and they're done.
I honestly think they really undervalued the first Kickstarter, and they're trying to make that money back on this one. Is the feeling I get from it?
That's what the big speculation was with Tasty Minstrel Games with their deluxeified games, that the production, they were underestimating what the production of those deluxe games be, and they were running Kickstarters to pay for like the Ponzi scheme. They were paying using that money from new Kickstarters to pay for the production of those old ones, and they just couldn't catch up. Yeah, this one I think they're trying to catch. That now that you mentioned it, they could be trying to catch up in a very extreme manner.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. No one's backing.
Yeah. No one's backing it.
And it's Stefan Feld, as you said, like, I'm not a fan. It's Stefan Feld, and people are looking at new Stefan Feld games and saying, like, get out of my face. Like, what the?
So
how do
now
you
here's the thing too. Would there be a different lens on this Kickstarter campaign if they just did one game at a time?
Yep.
If they just did one game at a time, would there be a completely different lens? I can get my one Stefan Feld game completely deluxeified, $100, $125, whatever it is. Would people be able to palatable swallow that easier than say, hey, I'm going to get all 4 games all at once. It's going to cost me $700.
I think, excuse me, I think you're right. I think the deluxe at 125, they might get some more people, but where they fall down is the add-ons and the components. Like that, the moment you're even thinking like, oh, 125, I love Feld, it's deluxeified, I'll do it. You know, I'm helping Stefan Feld. I've had a great amount of fun with his games. And then you see the coins and it's like, what? Like, there's just too many things that they're doing that just like break that whole sense of like any type of value here. Like, I see this and all I see is pure excess. Hell, we see excess on the classic versions, the standard versions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like this is the most infuriating thing I've looked at.
Yeah. I honestly can't see how somebody at Queen Games looked at this and thought, this is perfect. Let's print this. Let's get this going.
Yeah. Right.
Like it makes no sense to me. If this is priced properly, this should be blowing up. This is Feld. This is
Absolutely.
Euro goodness.
Yeah.
And they've killed it.
100% agree with you.
I'm a person that they're missing right now from going all in on potentially 4 deluxe games. Just because I would really like to have them.
Yeah.
But it's just, I'm not even remotely considering that.
Yeah.
So
The more I
remember Chronicles of Junigor, Rob. Like, think about that. For half price, you would have had Junigor all in with like how many expansions? Like 7 or 8 expansions, and giant minis like this big, and you would have paid half the price for these €4 games.
Right? Like, come on. Like, this is outrageous.
The more I stare at this, the more I want to go back and cancel my classic pledges of the first campaign.
No,
it just bothers me so much that they're doing this that it's like, I don't want to support you anymore.
Yeah.
It's hard. And it's hard when you want those games so bad. Like, one of your 2 favorite designers.
Exactly.
Yeah. Dave, you nailed it too.
Yeah.
This is a guy, Stefan Feld, very renowned in the Euro game world. People love his games. This should be going absolute bananas.
Yeah.
This is minimum, and we'll say that like let's just pretend market conditions are tough, and we'll say people have a little less money because, you know, of everything going on. This should easily be a $500,000 campaign. If it wasn't going to hit the numbers of the first one, this should easily be $500,000 to $600,000 campaign. I think they'll be lucky with 300,000.
I don't even think that. Yeah, it's not doing what it should. And then the other part I have an issue with this is at the exact same time as this pledging comes out, Voidfall, and it's like, you see the value in that one compared to this, and it's like, that's an easy crushing, right? They're at 8,000 pledges over this one.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
they did not do their justice on the timing of this particular campaign as well.
Yeah.
This campaign would infuriate me if you did it tomorrow, next year, yesterday.
Yes.
Whatever. But even more so when you have something like Voidfall that has lots of value, and beside it, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Plus, I want to add these other 2 add-ons. what they're crossing out here, that is not real.
No.
That is no. These games are out now, and they're out regularly at these.
Yeah.
Like
these prices.
I don't know how much those games normally are, because it's saying that first one with the expansion, and then that big box. Like, what's in that big box of Merlin? Like, what is that? Just
like Merlin was like another Stefan Feld game put out by Queen Games. It's got 3 expansions for it now, and then the big box came, put all the expansions in one box, gave you game trays inserts to organize all of the stuff for everything. Okay. I have this. It's fantastic. It's great,
but not worth
I hate you guys a little bit all right now for mentioning Voidfall because I just looked at it and it was like really cool. And I just backed it for $1 because I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna go all in on that because I'll have to wait. Like it looks it's cool. And I was like, I want in on that pledge manager. I'm sorry. Like,
spoiler alert, I'm all in on Voidfall. I saved my money. I took my refund from my original Hamburg Amsterdam and I put it into Voidfall. Sorry, Queen Games. Mind Clash gets all of my monies.
Yeah, I'm sitting here pretending that I'm not going to go all in on Voidfall.
Hey, well, look, there's one rule that I've always had when it comes to big box Kickstarters, and I think it's a valid discussion to bring up here because these are very expensive Euro games. I don't want to spend $100 or more on a game if it does not have a solo or cooperative mode. If I'm spending $100 or more, I need to be able to play this whenever I want. If that is not the case, I'm not interested. It's not saying that like the games are bad.
Oh, but for
I just
you,
need to get my money's worth because otherwise, like I've learned my lesson. Batman Gotham City Chronicles. I've played my friend's copy. Mine has been unplayed in 2 years because I'm like, look at that rule book. I'm like, how am I going to teach this game to anybody?
Yeah.
Hamburg is 1 to 5.
Oh,
there you go. So that's good.
Amsterdam is where again. Sorry for the vertigo.
Oh my
Murder.
One to 4. They've added. Looks like they've added solo modes that I was not aware of.
they just added that in. They're listening.
Yeah.
Put in a
1 to 4. 1 to 4 on New York. Now, wouldn't that be awesome that Marrakesh was like a 3 to 5? Oh, 2 to 4. 2 to 4.
For $50 more, you get the solo mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no stretch goals.
But the solo mode though is just score the most points if possible, which I mean does not really count as a solo mode.
That's true. These are Stefan Feld classic designs, and that's essentially what they would probably turn into. Yeah. Or like the one in Bonfire was just beat the bot.
Yeah.
Beat the bot.
I wonder if that's one of the things that he changed in it. If they weren't originally like 1 to 5 or 1 to 4, if he made it and is that all it is just like a race to see how many points you get or.
Yeah. Cause those original ones, there was no, like there were like fan made solo versions.
Yeah.
That you could find on BGG, but they were not meant to be solo games.
Yeah.
But one thing that I've always loved about Stefan Feld games is that they've always all played very well at 2-player, which is generally what I like to, my wife and I play. They've always all played very well at their different player counts.
That's good.
Yeah. So. The thing I like about Feld is, I can teach them to pretty much everybody and have a good time. And I love Euros, so they click with me. But it's also, I bought Castles of Burgundy Anniversary Edition for $40. And that has way more than any of these.
Oh man, isn't that painful? That's
hard to hear.
It's wrong.
It is. It's so wrong.
I wish I could just pull out my box for the Reckoners and just like lift it in front of my head. See how big it is. It's like the same size as Madara, and it's like everything in it is a game tray insert. Now it's a few years old, so prices have changed, but everything is game tray. All the minis are painted for all the heroes. And I have metal components for everything. And I think my pledge was like $100. Now that was like 2 years ago. So stuff has gone up. But to give you an example, like right now, that game might be, let's say, $150 for the deluxeified version. And the one thing it's saying is like, you're essentially getting New York plus the coins, plus everything else upgraded to the 9, so that would bring you to like still cheaper. Plus we got minis.
Yeah. The big thing I see with this is everybody talks about games and stuff going up. I don't think this is the level they're going up to. I think this is past what they're going up to. This is a cash grab. I can't see it as anything other than that.
No, if they're going up to this level, nobody's going to be able to buy games.
No.
Yeah.
If you're going to have to pay this to get like a euro like this, nobody's going to be able to play games anymore.
And my purchasing, ironically enough, like just looking at how I've been trying to purchase and doing this show and talking with everyone, is we try to buy a lot more strategically. And I'd say that like those cheaper games, they're now my impulse buys. Like Funko Games, you put out like a licensed game, Fast and the Furious, Gargoyles, like Aliens by Ravensburger. I'll play it. I'll buy it. Like, I don't like it. Well, guess what? I'll put it up for like $10 less and someone else will have some fun with it. But I can get that in the house, have some fun with it, and even move it on and have great value. Like this is the exact opposite.
Yeah. Can you imagine trying to move this for more than you paid for it?
Yeah, good luck.
Or even like $10 less? Wouldn't happen.
No.
You have to find that Feld guy. You'd have to go to like a Feld convention and be like,
come on, I got something.
Yeah, you would find him and you'd be like, well, that's the guy that did the 715 on day one.
That guy needs a badge and like a medal to wear.
Yeah.
We need to figure out who he is. Be like, hey guy, there's an early bird pledge.
That's never going to sell out.
It's never, ever going to sell out.
Yeah. I think if they went the route of just one game at a time and spaced it out, it'd be more palatable, but it's still extreme. Like $150 for this one deluxeified game. I don't know how many times I'm going to get to play this thing.
Yeah.
Do you think if this campaign ends and there is that one guy at that pledge level, do you think that they'll go to him and be like, hey guy, psst. Like, are they going to tell him?
Oh gosh, no.
There's early bird. You're the only one who didn't see it. Yeah. Like you were the first person. You were the earliest backer of this entire thing.
But you're not getting.
But we added the early bird after you did that.
Yeah.
And because of that, you missed out.
Yeah.
Like, are they going to?
Queen Games won't do that. Just look at this. Just look at this campaign. They are in this to make money. They'll squeeze that $25 out of that guy.
Yeah, I agree.
This is a campaign that shows a lot of problems with the company and a lot of potential problems. Hopefully, shipping and everything stabilizes. But can you imagine if stuff stabilizes at a much higher level and they underfunded the last campaign? Like you could go in on this and not get a damn thing.
Yeah.
I think that is a very, very real possibility. Personally, if I was Queen Games and I saw the support that this was getting, I'd cancel the campaign.
Cancel it, yeah.
Okay. They really should.
Cancel it because I don't see them even making any money printing these games.
No, I'm glad.
Backers, like, we found out there's like 100 backing like coins and 100 backing like just add-ons, so they're going to buy more coins. That means what, you're going to print 500 copies of these when you plan to like.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, Jason, because that was exactly my one thought, is that Queen Games should follow suit with many other companies that have done this in the past, where their campaign, and people are outspoken here. Like there are people in the comments that are like, what's going on here? Queen Games needs to go back to the drawing board with what this. Give people their Hamburg and Amsterdam that was funded way long ago. Give those people those games. Go back to the drawing board with this New York and this Marrakesh.
Yeah, admit that this is a mistake and done poorly. Cancel it. And
like, how much do they have to pay Stefan Feld?
Yeah.
Like, how much do they have to actually pay this guy? Because he's like putting his face like all over everything.
Yeah.
He's in these videos. He's on those trading cards that have his
awful.
Those awful trading cards. Like, why would you ever want that?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what
people will do with those trading cards. The people that are obsessed with it. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Like, they were going for such a niche demographic of this hobby, of the people who love collector edition things. And they went way too far with it.
Yeah.
Way too far.
Let's talk about it, because it's an interesting point that you're making. Like, we love Deluxified components. We love all this stuff. And we're seeing Funko Games, who is paying thousands of dollars in licensing fees for like gargoyles and other stuff.
Alien, yeah.
And these games hit for $35 US.
Yeah.
Like, maybe we're not getting all the deluxe components, but they've got great art. They're cool. So like the gargoyles has a 3D tower. Like, there's some type of a disconnect here. And when I think of a deluxe game, I'm thinking like Tainted Grail upgraded with all the minis and monsters. Yeah. I'm thinking like Cthulhu that I've got like up over there that you can't quite see from Death May Die. I'm not thinking Euro.
Yeah.
No. And the Deluxified on this, in my opinion, just misses the mark. It's looks like a fancy Euro, not a deluxe Euro in my opinion. Mm-hmm. It's nothing special.
You know what it makes me think of?
We're any part of it.
Yeah.
I see Marrakesh, and it makes me think of Five Tribes, except Five Tribes looks a lot nicer.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a game I've always wanted to try and play. I know that Marrakesh also has some issues with the way that the culture was used. I know that Jason from Shelf Stories was having some conversations about the cultural appropriation that happened in this game, and that it's not very good. But I haven't seen the video. I don't know enough about it to discuss it myself, but
yeah,
I thought it was a valid point that should be made.
Yeah.
But do we have anything else to talk about here? I think all we've been doing is just poor Queen.
No, because everything in the Deluxified edition is something that I would have got way back in the day on a Tasty Minstrel Games Deluxified edition. Everything about it, like, is on point. They missed the mark on the evaluation and what they're asking consumers to pay for such quote unquote premium product. Mm-hmm. Their evaluation is that's just my opinion here. They've missed the mark, and I think that they should have just went single game pledges.
Yeah. So far, the only game that I see that has attracted me to maybe pay $125 is New York.
Yeah, I agree.
Just the table presence, the way it looks, the board, the colors. Like, I look at it and I'm like, yeah, I can see the 125. It just pulls me in, like the chunkiness of all those skyscrapers. Mm-hmm. But it's still too much. It's still not what I want. But it looks like it's worth that price. Marrakesh just seems like looks like overwhelming a little bit.
Marrakesh reminds me of just a box of mechanisms.
Yeah.
is what it looks like. It looks like if they tried to throw everything in the kitchen sink into that game. This is what it looks like.
I tried to watch the Paul Grogan playthrough, and it was just all over the map, in my opinion, and it didn't click like a lot of his stuff does.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we have our final thoughts on this entire campaign. I think we can all say it is excess. Stay away. Terrible Kickstarter.
No, people that have backed this, just beware. Queen Games. If I was a betting man, I'd probably put some money down that they're going to cancel this campaign.
They should. They really should.
They need to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah. Rethink things.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think they're all in. I think they're all in because they're in a lot of trouble. I think if they were going to cancel this, I think they would have canceled it already. I think you made a really smart move pulling your money out, because hearing like from some of the companies that have folded this year, and it's companies like Tasty Minstrel and like Story Machine Games, a lot of these companies had a huge convention presence. And that's what they sold all their games. They brought their games in there and they sold everything there and made like all their money. And from what I'm seeing here, looking at Queen Games and the discussion you have about the big box and the Deluxified stuff, I think they made a fair chunk of money on the conventions too. And I think there were some holes in the budget. Like, this is pure speculation. They do sponsor a lot of podcasts. They do a lot of good stuff. Clearly, they're never going to sponsor this one since we're just tearing them apart here. But I don't know. There's something about this that doesn't seem normal. And with how angry people are, the fact that this wasn't canceled within 48 hours to 72 hours just seems a little weird.
Yeah. And the fact, too, that they've always used Kickstarter as more of just a pre. Every single Queen's game has always been available in retail.
Yeah.
All of them. And it just looks like, from what I'm hearing, is that I think we're going to be able to see these classic versions in retail. And I'm going to put a fair bet here that you're going to get those classic games at retail for much cheaper than what you're going to get in on this Kickstarter campaign.
Yeah.
Again, conjecture.
Incomplete information.
And I've got a lot of that on this thing because I don't even want to pay attention anymore.
You know, I think this is an invitation. You know, if you're saying they obviously wouldn't sponsor this one, but I think that it, you know, an invitation to you prove us wrong. Yeah. Where is the value in it? Let us know. Where is, like, why is it the price that it is? Because we can't figure it out. You know, well, like, let us know.
The fact of the matter here is that the all-in pledge of this game is you're getting 4 games for roughly $1,000 Canadian after shipping.
No, before shipping.
No, it's like $9.10 or something.
Yeah, but it's not going to be just $90
right here.
Well, whatever it is.
All in 4-game deluxe bundle, $6.90 US, $8.78 Canadian, getting you all of those metal coin sets that we thought were 100% pure excess.
Yeah,
basically $1,000 with tax and shipping. Let's say $1,000.
Yeah.
Yep.
$250 a piece. There's nowhere on this planet that those are worth that. That's just not true. So sorry, but you can't prove me that those are worth $250 a piece. No way.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like,
good luck trying to convince me otherwise. It's just not, it's not true. $250 for each game? No.
Completely upgraded with the metal coins and everything.
It's not a thing. It's
not a thing.
Look, I've spent that much on a game before. One time. I still haven't got all of it, but man, was there like way more content than anything I've seen out of this. And it's a gigantic replayable campaign game with like a few hundred hours of story and boxes of miniatures and all sorts of insanity.
So, sorry, I just had another thought here, and I know my final thought that just popped in my head. So the games that he's reskinning, that he's like made additions to, how much were those original games?
Oh, probably back in the day, they were Leah Ravensburger titles, probably retail for like $40.
Yeah.
Okay. So we take.
Now I'm glad you brought this up too, because those out of print games that are going for a premium on the game black market are cheaper than these.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what I mean. How can you justify that it's worth $250?
They can't. They can't justify.
The game's no different. The game is different.
About 7 years ago, I paid a premium for the out of print Macau at that time. And the premium I paid for that copy of Macau was that I paid $80 Canadian.
Yeah.
At that time, because it was out of print, never coming back into print.
So $170 more for this new version here.
Deluxeified.
Yeah.
Deluxeified, a couple changes, not even the original game.
Yeah.
A little bit extra.
I'm very tempted to call this the classic edition of Kickstarter Excess.
I don't think we've ripped this much into a game campaign.
Not even close.
No. I don't think we've ripped them.
Especially to games that I want.
Yeah.
That's the cool part is I want these games.
This is
Where was
it again? Here you go. The 4-game classic bundle, $300 US.
I think Rob and Anna Marie would have just bought Chronicles of Trunagor at that price.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah.
Gosh. For €4 games.
Just
I think we've said it. We've gone around in circles a little bit, but it's been fun to just vent on this. But I don't think any of us have ever seen anything like this campaign, and such a stumble, fall flat on the face. This just like everything, layout of the page, pledge levels. It's just all a big mess.
And it's clear we're not the only ones that think that.
Yeah.
Right. We're not four groups here being, bashing this game.
This has been the only update.
The numbers don't lie.
No.
This is on September 29th is when they announced New York and Marrakesh. That's been the only update of the whole campaign.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Actually, even the comments section isn't even very active. Only 256 comments.
Everyone just abandoned this. They're just like, nah, whatever. It's a joke.
Yeah.
Not worth their time. It's a joke.
Yeah, I've never actually been angry at a Kickstarter campaign until this one.
No.
Like,
I've been angry at a few, but it's been communication and then like straight up stealing my money. But like
that was after backing though, right?
But that's after a pledge. This is
Yes.
just looking at the page. I'm just like, I can't believe this.
No, I've never felt this before. Actually, wait, no, there was one because the campaign was a joke. And I don't know if you ever heard about the guy that launched the Game of Thrones.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
I remember that. I remember that story.
That was just the craziest thing that made me angry but it was really funny. It was very entertaining. Like the really sad family aspects that happen afterwards are like really not funny, but it's still unbelievable the fact that like the whole thing. So if you don't know what we're talking about, you should look up like Game of Thrones unlicensed Kickstarter and everything that happened to this guy that tried to make a Game of Thrones game and had the cops called on him by backers for stuff that on his live stream. It's insane.
Yeah.
That was infuriating, but nothing has insulted me as
A consumer.
backer and a consumer and a gamer. This whole campaign feels insulting to me.
Yeah, I think that's probably the better word is insulted.
Yeah. As Stefan Feld super fans, Dave and I, like, I'm mad that I'm not getting these games. I can't justify my dollaroos. I can't justify my Canadian Monopoly money.
No.
Going to this.
This was our opening into getting more into Feld, right? And it's just, well, I guess not.
Yeah.
You'd have to sell stuff. Like, let's be realistic. To spend that much, you'd have to sell an equivalent amount of games. However, to sell enough to get it, you'd be selling like 30 games and getting more. Is that what you want to do?
Well, at first I thought that's what Ryan was doing with his Onk and stuff, but
yeah, my all-in Onk is a better deal than this.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
Any all-in CMON is a better deal than this. Like the all-in Masters of the Universe, which none of us ended up backing, is better than this.
Absolutely, it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just
Yeah, no, Dave, I wasn't trying to justify a purchase on this. Not 100%.
Oh God.
I don't think anyone can justify a purchase on this one. Like
board game economics.
Yeah.
You're just buying it because you love it. Like,
Queen
there's no
Games.
justification.
Queen Games, you fail board game economics.
Yeah.
Whoever the marketing person here needs to go back to their university and ask for their money back.
Well, and they're going to be tainted by this for forever, right? Everybody, anything they put out, everybody's going to be, oh, you remember that last one?
Queen Games was just starting to make a name back for themselves, saying, okay, they had some rough Kickstarters in the past. They started to clean that act up now. And they're starting to put out, okay, these are reliable campaigns. Yeah, you just went 2 steps forward and 10 steps back.
Yeah.
I think it's more than 10 steps back because like this is just, you just ran straight. This is literally looking at the truck coming at you and you just step out in there and be like, yeah, why don't you hit me?
Yeah, sorry. You're about 690 US steps back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey,
It's a
I
real
don't have any more to say about this disaster.
Yeah.
Light it on fire, kill it, just burn it, leave it alone, restart, start fresh. So on that note, I think we can stop the screen share unless anyone else wants to say any final words about.
Blood pressure is high enough right now.
Yeah.
All right. So I am going to let our hosts and guest hosts tell you where you can find them. You can also take a look down below in the video description to find links to all of their great stuff. And then we will be getting out of here. We'll be coming back again with another Kickstarter Excess or Value in the near future. We will be covering the aftermath of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. I know Rod's been telling us we're going to be covering Lords of Ragnarok. I think we were going to talk, maybe do Voidfall, but we kind of spoiled it on this one, and we got enough stuff coming up. So maybe we'll skip that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Ragnarok looks amazing.
Yeah.
So it just might like Awaken Realms. I'm sorry, you usually get all my monies.
Yeah, every dollar I was going to spend here is now going to Awaken Realms. So
Yeah.
For less.
Yeah.
For less.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, folks. Ryan here from the Card Board Conjecture Podcast, Bridge City Board Gamers here in Saskatoon. Check out our podcast every Wednesday where we have What Ya been playing Wednesdays with Dice and Dragons and Meeple Dungeon. And I guess that guy from Board in the Air pops on every now and then too.
Yeah. When I actually play a game.
And then we're also on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Just look up Bridge City Board Gamers.
And I'm David from Board on the Air, or one half of Board on the Air, and we are a weekly radio show in Saskatoon on CFCR. And we post all our radio shows onto podcast sites, and you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook as well.
And we've been Rob and
Anna Marie
from the Meeple Dungeon out here in Kelowna, BC. You can get us on Twitter and YouTube and our podcast on all the podcast sites out there.
almost.
Most.
And I'm Jason. And just a reminder to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that YouTube will let you know when our next video is released. Also down below in the video description, besides having all the links to the great content, you can find our social media feeds, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, if you'd like to see what we've been playing, maybe something that arrived that was featured on Kickstarter Excess or Value. That's probably like 12 months away, but it'll be there eventually. So we're just getting it prepared. Make sure that you check out all of those feeds. And then popping up in front of the screen, you're going to see links to some of our previously released videos. So one will take you to our playlist of all the Kickstarter Excess or Value videos. And the other one will be our most recent release. And just remind everyone to not forget to keep playing games.
Keep playing games.